I'm really not sure that regardless of what happens with Brexit, I think that Britain's going to pay an unbelievable amount of money either way. I really don't think it matters. I mean, look at the net contribution to the EU budget that the UK makes every year. About $9 billion. So if we say from now until 2030, so that's $99 billion. So about $100 billion. So, okay, that's a lot of money. Glad we're leaving the EU. Glad we don't have to pay that. But the alternative, or one of the alternatives, is Theresa May's deal, which apparently is also going to cost $100 billion a year. So it will be like we never left. In fact, it'll be worse than if we left, because the costs will be the same, assuming the EU don't put them up somehow, which I'm sure they can, and we'll have no power to change any of these rules, and we'll still be paying the same amount of money, roughly. So, I mean, and this was a study commissioned by the People's Vote, which wants a second referendum. They understand this is bad. Everyone understands this is bad. But then they're saying, let's just stay in the EU and pay the same amount of money, but just get outvoted in all the deals that we get outvoted in all the decisions that we try to make. Okay, great idea, right? But then I found this article on The Conversation. Academic rigor, journalistic flair. Well, I really do hope so. But this is a study that was done that found that their modelling, they estimated, the IFS estimated that the financial crisis of the UK economy would be £300 billion in the decade since 2008. So around 10 years. Their modelling implies a loss of output between 40 and 110 billion by 2030. Okay, so we're in the same boat for pretty much everything. And if their estimate is, if their estimate is even vaguely accurate, if we say just the midpoint of that, so what, about 70 billion? Okay, so this is actually the cheapest option. And that's not including any of the things that we can do, like in the conversation I had with Jared Lyons, where, there are things we can do to make our economy more competitive once we have full control of our own country. Like, once we can make our own laws and not have to have our standards and any other requirements dictated by a foreign power, then we can outcompete them. We can actually deliberately undercut them if we want. We can turn ourselves into a massive business hub. And I don't see why we wouldn't. I don't see why we wouldn't encourage investment in that way. So who knows how off their models are. But even in their own models at the moment, it's still the best option. And they say, well, hey, it's an informed estimate. Our results are subject to a high degree of uncertainty. But then so are everyone's. That's in fact the problem. No one knows. The problem is uncertainty, and that's another good reason. Just go, right, okay, we're going to choose no deal Brexit. Yeah, okay, there are going to be problems, but we're going to pay out through the nose either way on this. So I think worrying about the money is kind of silly at this point, because we're talking 100 billion either way, really, aren't we? So let's just focus on doing what is actually best for the future of the country. And I think that taking back control is obviously the thing that is best. I mean, 44% of the public are in favour of it. It's what they voted for in a referendum with a clear margin for victory. It is obviously what this country should be doing. If you want to be following the will of the people, then you should be supporting no deal Brexit. This is just generally it's the most popular position in the entire country. Just leave, and leave yesterday.